Editing is the coordination of one shot with the next, in the order determined by the director in collaboration with the editor. What we're seeing right now is an example of a movie shot. The camera operator started this shot by pressing the start button, letting the camera roll for a time, and then pressing stop. The editor then gathers all the shots that were taken at the same location, and in the editing room, puts them all together into a series of shots that reveal the action from different angles. In this scene, the shots, presented in their proper length and order along the timeline, build up all the audiovisual information needed by the audience so that they could understand what is happening in the scene. Editing relies on matching screen direction, positioning, and timing from shot to shot. Continuity editing is a system of cutting to maintain continuous and clear narrative action. This practice persists because across time, film audiences have been familiar with its conventions. Continuity editing has the objective of consistently making the impression that the story is coherently flowing throughout the entire series of shots presented to the audience. It delineates space clearly and allows the viewers to be confidently oriented about the scene space. At the beginning of a scene, the audience is usually shown the scene space as a whole and where the characters are positioned. This master shot achieves that objective. Character A is on the left side of the frame while character B is on the right. When the master shot cuts to a tighter shot, such as this over-the-shoulder shot, the film viewers do not get disoriented because the relative positions of the characters are maintained. To ensure that editors have matching shots, directors and cinematographers follow the 180-degree rule, which entails keeping the camera on one side of an imaginary line between characters. Thus, although the shots are fragmented, the film viewers intuitively understand that characters A and B are looking at each other. The usual way of joining one shot with the next is through a cut, which creates precise edits between shots. Cuts piece together shots of various sizes, from close-ups to wider shots. Continuity editing also involves cutting an action whenever optimal. The following cut happens at the very moment the character hunches over. Cutting an action enhances the impression of continuous time in between shots. Cutting in the act of standing up serves as a visual bridge that reinforces continuity. Here, the cutting in action happens when the character kicks the car door. A cutaway is a shot of something other than the main characters being covered. This cutaway of a horse gives the audience insights into the inner life of the character. It then cuts back to the main scene after it has served its purpose. The cross-cutting technique used in its example results in a parallel editing of the geographically separated training sequences of the competing athletes. An example of a transition is this match cut that juxtaposes graphically similar images. This is another example of an interesting graphic match cut between two distinct scenes. A dissolved transition connects two shots by fading out the last part of the previous shot while fading in the first part of the next shot. The dissolve can signal to the viewer that the shots belong to a thematic sequence within the narrative. This is another example of a dissolved transition. The dissolve purposefully connects two scenes together. This transition can also indicate that some time has passed. Quite uncommon now is the wipe transition, which works quite well for this film.